Hello, my precious rosebuds. It is your girl, Rose Thorn. And we are back with Danganronpa. Goodbye, Despair. I'm sorry for the intro to take so long. It wasn't capturing my voice. I literally had to just fix that. For some reason, I didn't want to capture. Content warning is in effect for this game, and as you're all aware, this game has some major issues. So don't watch if you have suicidal thoughts or anything like that, because this contains suicide, killing, and all that fun shit. I accidentally clicked when I didn't mean to. I can't hold on shift, so we're just dealing with the slow walk right now. I'm also dealing with a shitty phone right now that's not letting me type. Yeah, next is that island there. I forget what's there, to be honest. I know some of these are gonna be like really, really hard to find everything on if you don't do it just right. Then the fifth island, I forget what's there as well. Is it bad I have deleted stuff after installing it? I mean, I have so much space, but at the same time, it's like my heart goes no, no, no. Everyone heard the announcement has gathered out from Monocum Rock, and soon enough.
Welcome!
Everybody here! Do you guys want a class try?
Wait!
Take your hold it right there.
Mon Amy's such a
Don't get in my
dumb
way. You're just a
child.
dumb little sister who's short and who's brain cells.
Hey!
Her brain works
Hey,
just fine.
hey!
Monokuma, what did you do with Nekomaru? I see, so you come to avenge him?
Let's-
Avenge? That sounds like you died. Sounds like you say, oops.
Anyway,
Since Nekomaru is unfortunately unavailable today, let's just say he's absent.
bye-bye.
Susan, I gotta go first.
I won't let you.
Hey!
Hey, did you hear what he said?
Huh?
Don't worry about it. There's no way Nekomaru is dead. He's just trying to piss us off.
Damn it!
Of course he's not dead. There's no way he'd... Not in a million years.
Well...
More importantly, it's the best we were about ourselves for now. Something happens here. Every one of us except Nekomaru will die. Why are you so excited about that?
How about it?
You know, maybe I just look forward to seeing the podcast if you...
What do you yearn for?
What are you saying, Fiend? Hang on, before we do anything. Report card. We only have 4. Cool Post seems like we... Yep. Cool Post or clock up, which this increases our max speed. No. No. Steadies, yes. I like having steady aim. I'm sorry. Here we go.
See?
Okay, let's go.
I'm gonna do
Alright,
it!
let's hurry up and get this over with. Yeah, you're right. Did I mention how much I hate this? Well, not that, the rock. Because it looks like it's vibrating. Ah! And everyone goes up in. We stepped on the escalator and headed towards the gaping maw of Monocuma Rock. That's when I suddenly noticed. I noticed our lined up silhouettes kept getting smaller and smaller, but I can't turn back now. If I turn back now, I won't be able to press forward. I'm gonna try to get this for an hour, or at least until it breaks. The elevator began its deep descent as usual. But nobody said a word. We stood there trying to figure out what to say to each other. The elevator ascended deeper and deeper and deeper. my god, my dog is an ass. Who presented her ass. So I smacked. And when it descended far as it could reach, it finally stopped. The elevator doors opened slowly, and almost tantalizingly so. The light poured through from the other side, eroding the boundaries of the darkness. And I walked into that place. My, it feels pretty toothless with all these empty seats. Well, 2 people got killed at the same time, and Nekomaru's not here either.
Hey!
Is Nekomaru really not participating? If he's alive, you should invite him.
No, not
Why bother?
That's-
What?
well now.
Nothing must be
Yahoo!
the beginning of the long-awaited class trial. Please enjoy to your heart's content. After this, I'm actually going to see if I can do a controller for that, because it's easier to shoot with. I don't know yet. As soon as the current on the class trial is open. Ibuki Miyoda is the ultimate musician. She was really loud, but she was the mood maker of our group. When I was with her, all my pain and suffering just seemed to melt away. Hiyoko, the ultimate traditional dancer. I cannot pronounce her last name. Don't yell at me. Just from looking at her adorable face, you never knew she was actually a selfish child mouse. But she was trying to change herself, and she was desperately trying to come to terms with Masaru's death. The person who killed these 2 among us. I definitely can't believe it. But whatever I believe is not, is irrelevant. Once I figure out the truth, I won't be able to escape from this hell. That's why I must find out, no matter the cost, for our sake. For our friend's sake. For Ibuki and Hiyoko's sake. And so the curtain on the third class trial is about to open. This life-threatening trial blowing with hope in despair has begun. Yes, because I'm not dumb. For the record, we all know I've never... yes, please. G-code, time limit does not decrease even after you shoot a statement with a silencer. Oh, yes. Fuck yeah. My dog is just freaking out. There's people, actually, hang on. There's people tending to things, and my dog likes freaking out like a little bitch. I love my dog. I love my dog. I love my dog. But god damn it. Okay. I'm gonna hit space.
Now
so I don't have
then,
to play.
let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial,
yep.
Oh well.
You know, because I was asleep the whole time.
Yeah,
Even if you do grasp it, you're just gonna confuse the heck out of us, aren't you?
that's accurate. He will. He'll try to.
But Nagito's not alone. I don't really get it either.
You're fine. Your head's empty anyway.
Kazuichi, shut
Empty
up.
head? Huh. What's wrong with that? Listen up. The emptier your head, the more dreams you can stuff inside it, you know?
I actually like that because it's not allowing the
Anyway,
insult to be an
We shouldn't
insult.
proceed with the trial if those 2 can't participate in the arguments. Since he's the first witness, why don't we ask Hajime to explain the incident and the sequence of events?
Alright.
Then, let's start with when we split into the hospital team and motel team because of the despair disease.
Yeah, we're just gonna let this happen.
The hospital team consisted of Nagito, Ibuki, and Akane, who were infected, and Mikan, Fuyuhiko, and me.
The other 5 on the motel team were myself, Gundam, Kazuichi, Chiaki, and Hyoko.
Spending the
Chiaki.
night at the hospital was prohibited, so Hajime and I had to sleep at our cottages.
I cannot talk
I
like
woke
that.
up at my cottage on the day the incident happened.
I've been on dog like a mill today.
Mikan came by to wake me up and told me that Nagito had recovered from his symptoms. We immediately headed over to the hospital, and after we confirmed his recovery, I made Mikan rest in the on-call room, since she hadn't slept all night, while I waited in the hospital lobby.
Alright, so Mikan was in the on-call room.
And then, I saw the incoming signal light on the surveillance camera blinking before our scheduled time. When I pressed the button to turn on the monitor, what appeared on screen was a video of someone wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head, climbing a stepladder.
Amazing! That's such a heart-pounding story! And then what did you do, Hajime?
Can we smack him
I tried to
with a
stop them, of
baseball
course.
bat?
I rushed out of the hospital and ran to where the video was being recorded, the music venue. But it was too late. By the time I arrived, the person wearing the hemp bag on their head was already hanging from the ceiling. I thought I should tell the others right away, so I headed to the motel.
Yeah, okay, we're just gonna skip a bit now, because this is just...
Then you could be lying as much as you
Lie? Why?
obviously. So you could make us ignore what might be an inconvenience.
Do you doubt me?
Alright, so...
If you're not lying, I would like you to prove it. Come on, try to prove it to me. Prove you're not the killer.
He's twisted as fuck. It's just correct to say Nagito's the worst kind. Damn it, I shouldn't have explained it to Nagito. I'm in trouble now thanks to that. Ah, this is gonna be fun. Make your argument. Oh.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault.
Alright. I'm not sure there should be... It's the
Hajime's
movie.
testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
That's
Why
right.
would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's
Fucking hell.
fault.
It's not letting me
Hajime's
break
testi-
that.
If Hajime's... Then the fact that Ibuki...
That would also...
I don't think I can. After all,
Why would Hajime...
Well, obviously,
Did Hajime...
the fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably
God
is
damn it.
Hajime's fault. Hajime's testi-
If
I hate
Hajime's...
this.
Then the fact that Ibuki...
That would also...
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime's the only
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie. No, that's wrong!
I'm not the killer! I mean, there's no way I'd be able to imitate that movie.
Of course you're not. I already knew that.
You're an asshole.
Huh?
Before the incident, Hajime had never watched that movie. His invitation ticket is proof of that. Each person only received one ticket, and they're marked with a stamp that shows the date and time. Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Yes, no mistakes there.
Which means there's no way Hajime, who never saw the movie, could commit murders that imitated it.
Yes, right.
Or
Back in the day.
did anyone tell him what happens in the movie? Of course no one did, right?
Hold on a sec! You're the one who brought this up in the first place!
Exactly.
Nagito, what are you doing?
Well, since we're opening with your witness testimony, I thought we should solidify the foundation.
But you think I'm murdering?
It also provides a good warm-up.
What warm-up? This isn't a game, you know.
Don't get mad. I just think warming up is really important. Especially since this isn't a game.
What a waste of time. Well, I knew it would turn out like this anyway.
Now then, since we know Hajime's testimony is reliable, let us move on to the arguments.
So this means Ibuki definitely climbed the stepladder all by herself, right?
Yeah, I'm positive.
And I
Then
got
that seals it! Ibuki committed suicide!
If Ibuki committed suicide, then who killed Hiyoko?
A murder coincidentally occurring in the same place as a suicide. Ain't possible, huh?
Like I said before, it's pretty clear what the problem with this case is. The killer murdered Hiyoko while Hajime was gone. So all we gotta do is establish who could have possibly done that.
Then let's ask Hajime. How long would you say you were away from the music venue?
I couldn't have been gone for more than 10 minutes.
So they killed Hiyoko and taped her up within 10 minutes? There's no way that's possible.
That's why the killer stalled for time by making the music venue a closed room.
What do you mean, a closed room?
The killer blocked the venue door from the inside to try and keep us from entering right away.
However, that door is the only entrance to the music venue, right? If they blocked the door from the inside, the killer would not have been able to leave either.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Which means, when we broke down the venue door, the killer was still inside.
No.
They were?
If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who don't have an alibi for that time. And that's you two! Sonia and Kazuichi!
Me too?
What the hell? Why's it gotta be us?
The others all have alibis. Chiaki, Mikan, Hajime, and I all broke down the venue door together. Gundam met up with Hajime at the motel right before that.
He does have a point.
And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital,
There's another person who doesn't have an alibi.
Hey! Why are you talking?
That was good.
You're kidding, right?
Please stop making bad jokes.
Just take it, Sonia.
anyway, if the killer was hiding inside the venue, we should obviously doubt the people who don't have alibis.
What a wicked way of backing us into a wall! Is this his professional skill?
Killer was inside the venue. Is it really it? No. Took your glue on the door. Semi-transparent cloth. We need that one.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
Alright.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
Nope.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
No.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
Nope.
So they looked like they had just rushed over.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
You can admit that.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside. No, that's wrong!
sec. There's also a possibility that the door was locked from the outside.
From the outside? How?
There was a semi-transparent glob stuck to the venue door. Maybe that's what they used.
It's glue.
Semi-transparent glob. Like rubber, maybe?
Probably. Glue.
I see!
That semi-transparent glob must have been glue.
Glue?
Yeah, I think so too. It had a firm, gel-like chewiness, and I could smell workshop chemicals the moment I put it in my mouth. Based on all that, I'm certain it was glue.
I didn't know glue was edible.
It's not.
I believe it is not something one typically eats.
That
Yeah,
glue was only
spit it
applied to
out.
the areas where both doors touched. By pouring it in the gaps of the closed door, they must have sealed the venue door from the outside.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left where the door was stuck. Yep, it fits perfectly. But if you just stick them together with glue, you'd be able to break down the door easily, you know? That doesn't really matter. The killer only did that to make us think the door was locked from the inside.
What'd you say?
First of all, didn't that drumstick we found seem really obvious? Almost unnaturally so?
God love when
It
the
was
characters
so
have a brain.
obvious that it makes more sense to think the killer placed it as a diversion.
She reminds me of.
Are you saying the
Scary,
drumstick
Gary.
was a trap the killer set on purpose?
Yes, but you fell
Then
for
I totally fell for that fucking trap.
Apologize to Miss Sonia and me. However, you're not allowed to slice open your stomach this time.
it.
In a quarrel, both sides are to blame. That's why it's better
Oh
to
my
just...
God, shut up.
So, during the 10 minutes Hajime left the venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko and created a closed space?
And they also taped her up after killing her, right?
Yeah, that's not done in 10 minutes.
Even
my
quick
friends.
work has limits.
Oh, what unimaginable speed for a slowpoke like me.
If they couldn't have done it while Hajime was away from the venue, they must have done it earlier than that.
Earlier.
But when Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there, right?
Yes,
And when you
no.
went back with everyone else, Hiyoko's body was there too, right? But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Hiyoko was actually killed earlier.
Just revealed?
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too. Here, I have proof.
Oh, hello. So
That
Scott
scrap of paper, is that what we found in the baton lighting at the music venue?
Yep.
That's right, but just what is this scrap anyway?
No, I should be able to figure out what it is. Damn it. I hate these. I really do. Isn't the answer wallpaper? Yes, it is. I need a W. Thank you. The fact that I actually know what the word is spelling says a lot about me. U A Damn it. Damn. There we go.
I got it!
No, it's not fun. I hate those. I got out of yes,
Scrap.
because we're gonna have to like
Isn't it part of the wallpaper in the storage room? In the music venue storage room, there should have been black wallpaper that's the same color as that scrap.
Yep, there is.
There was also a tear along the edge of the wallpaper, wasn't there? If so,
You're right. If you overlay the scrap that was caught on the lighting with the tear in the wallpaper,
We got it right.
see? It fits perfectly.
I see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper.
And what's wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Hyoko's body disappearing?
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to answer that.
Wow, shut up.
But if you guys were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of paper, you can figure this out easily.
He like putting himself down like crazy. I don't understand that character. Is it connected to the if I trace it back there from there, there should be something clear. Alright, let's give it a try. What are we doing? Logic drive. We're doing a logic drive, yes. These I enjoy. Alright. Oh fuck. Shit. There we go. Yeah, safe. These ones I like, but I also hate. I hit spacebar on that motherfucker. Yeah, this is where I come to die. Alright, question one. It was hidden. Her body was hidden. It says, why did Hyoko's body suddenly? It was hidden. Her body was hidden. Fuck. Her body was hidden. Hidden, not hidden. What did the killer use to hide her body? The wallpaper. The curtain was too short. Okay, here we go. Alright, here we go. They cover the pillar. They did not form a wall.
it's all coming together!
They literally taped it to the pillar and formed a...
I got it! Hyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
Sorry.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the pillar?
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar.
No, what she hid the body.
So when I first discovered Ibuki's body,
Oh,
Hyoko's body was already there. However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that at the time.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
Yep.
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar. so using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
That's how they hid Hyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music venue.
But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper.
Yay for us.
And because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
Again, yay for us.
The killer must have been in a hurry. If their plan took too long, Hajime could have walked in on them.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
But the crime itself would be much easier to pull off since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
Exactly. You just have to
Then-
throw it in.
When was Hiyoko actually killed?
Good point. And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
You mentioned imitation murder more than once. But what is that?
Are you kidding?
It's
We
as
are
if
not
both
doing
crimes
that.
were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
Really? To mix up the killing order.
I see!
The reason the killer imitated 2 of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
Then, Hiyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
Yep.
A valid line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
I'm not even crying.
I'll let you sob as much
Oh
as
my
you
God.
want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
What a jerk!
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed. That
Yeah,
would
that's a
mean
window.
Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
Yep.
How light. Your words are so light as the sylph's feather. Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Man, he's being annoying again.
He's always annoying.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor. How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
Because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
You're one to talk.
Hang on. Sorry, had to cut this off. Blood on souls. Definitely need the blood on souls. Perfect.
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
That's accurate.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
Oh my god.
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Yes.
Were there even any footprints at the crime scene?
Oh my
Maybe
god.
her feet were, but she was like sitting. So instead, there'd be a.
Weak. It doesn't even pierce my heart.
When Hiyoko died,
We are
Ibuki's
fast
feet were...
I am telling you to present.
Did you see her?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Were there even any footprints at the crime...
Maybe her feet were on the. But she was like sitting. So instead, there'd.
Weak. It doesn't even pierce my heart.
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet...
I am telling you to
Did you see her walk?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
I agree with that.
I'm sorry. I'm doing shit, so it's laggy a bit.
Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something. That something was blood. There were faint blood stains on the soles of her slippers.
There we go.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries.
Exactamundo. It's Hyoko's.
Then it's Hiyoko's blood!
Hyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
If Ibuki stepped on her blood,
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded.
Yep.
Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate the power of the evil eye.
Well, holy shit.
Is that?
Does that mean you have a...
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? But are you sure? You're so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you've realized our difference in status.
I realize you're a thief.
However, the time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest.
I hate him. I just hate him. Go freeze her hanging. What am I looking for? You're. Alright,
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged. Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor. You can't step on blood that was never. Just about. Did you see a nice nightmare?
Trying to design the process. I feel like I've already seen openings in a counter.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged. Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Oh shit. Nope.
Crap!
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to. Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
There it is. There
Allow
it
me
is.
to cut through those words! That's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
We're doing good.
Don't say such foolish things! You don't have proof of that at all!
Yeah, we do.
Yes, I do. If you look closely, there's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but... Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right? Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was left out in the open.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding. Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating, so I don't think they had to go that far.
aside from
I have to know if
Mikan,
that
none of
worries
us
me.
were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
Maybe The heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikan's autopsy?
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater!
If the time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right?
I love this.
Then it's decided. Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now. Fine then, but regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Can't you just shut up and back off?
Thank you, Kazuichi.
Now then, let us resume our debate.
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
Huh? Again? Didn't something like this happen last time, too?
Yep.
Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
That makes him the killer.
The same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is.
It's not like that hasn't happened
Think
before.
about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself.
Yes, like
Unfortunately,
Tougher
that
than
means
one.
there's no Blacken to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
I should really put that one in the
Why me?
things for that.
Nagito? What do you mean? If the victim actually committed suicide?
Well, I mean, I understand Hiyoko's death, but I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered.
She
For
was.
example, it's possible Ibuki killed Hiyoko, and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
Yeah, no, she wouldn't have been able to do everything.
That's totally impossible! Then she never would have killed her to begin with!
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything can happen.
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right? After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hiyoko's body soon after means... the killer had to be alive at that time.
Then she was alive! When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead. If she waited until Hajime left, that's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime scene.
She hanged herself. Remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that.
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging. Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plan.
I see. So that means there's no doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad. Now I'm free to search for the killer.
He's so weird.
What the heck?
There's still one more issue on my mind. If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, then just what was that video Hajime saw?
Someone faking it?
According to that video you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right? Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
Forced? Perhaps they used hypnotism or something?
I don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud.
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something. So, maybe we should figure out who was able to do whatever that was.
So, an alibi. Then our plan is to destroy the weakest alibi. Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
No, it's
But
not.
just to be sure, that surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right?
Right.
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording feature.
Then, the video Hajime saw was actually live?
What time did Hajime see that video?
I saw it at the hospital, right before Monokuma's morning announcement.
I'm slightly sleepy.
And I saw the body at the music venue a little after Monokuma's announcement.
I'm okay on my sleep schedule.
So
just that.
Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement. And since we established that Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki,
I need to have something room in the background. Forgive me, guys.
that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
Maybe. Possible.
Then, we just have to find the person who doesn't have an
Forgive me,
alibi
I was
during
putting
that
stuff
time?
up so I could actually make sure
Now
stuff
then,
was
I shall
properly.
issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence.
It's also smart to have all these games downloaded, and so I don't have to worry about them downloading later. Some games I do have to download later, just not the ones I want to. Okay.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Becomes account, surveillance.
Right before the
monitor
morning
video,
announcement,
Sonia's.
I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
We're supposed to have the.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Hang on, let me look at stuff. We have Sonia's. That's not gonna help us. Hiko. Me comes the cow. And then Sonia's account was only about the night before.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then
Shit, okay, no.
Crap!
I I forget
We
which
can
one's
exclude the
right.
sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
I'm trying to remember something. I'm sorry. Is this like one of those? Hang on. I think this is the highlight thing, but I'm not sure. Okay. Nope.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
I think.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then
There we go.
No, that's wrong!
I completely forgot what was right there.
Hold on. Not all of us are missing an alibi. In fact, Mikan and I both have alibis.
you two have alibis?
Up until I saw that hanging video, Mikan and I were actually together for a while.
We even woke up together that morning.
Alright. Well,
Hey, what kind of situation is that?
I accidentally fell asleep on top of Hajime.
yeah, that
Too
was
much
a-
info.
Yeah, it's not like that. She just came to tell me Nagato's condition had improved.
And we went to the hospital together afterward. So we were together until right before the announcement.
Yeah, everyone but them has.
I get it. You guys have alibis.
If that's the case, the killer must be someone else.
It's better if we think about it like that.
Alright, sorry, headphones fell off.
The killer decided
Oh,
to
good.
falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before.
It feels like
But committing an imitation murder,
We
was
just
that
gonna-
the only reason? I think
If that's the case, are we still in the killer's trap inside the stuff set by one of us? So then, who and what kind of trap is it? I'm sorry, I read faster than the characters speak. Okay. We actually made it to the suspended part in a lot less time than it normally takes.
Hiya!
Stop it!
Stop it, don't characterize me as someone who lives off moss balls. We're just doing that. Here's some chance time. Huh, what's that? Now then, modern music appeal time starts now. On appeal time, your kind-hearted big brother is gonna give you the chance to reclaim your honor. Good luck. Show those jerks who treat you like a red-headed stepchild who's boss. That's 99% your fault. While you were whining, your time is already running out, so please, make your appeal simple about 300% of them. That's not long, I'll just have a boring appeal. Come on, if your appeal's successful, there might be a merchandise opportunity heading your way on then. I'm a Sami, magical miracle could go Sami. I'm an itty-bitty girl who's sweet like milk. Geez, and I saw Sarah Robot's little sister was supposed to be the
What
best.
a
Who are you talking about? I have no clue whatsoever. Alright. We made it to halftime, y'all. So far, we realized that the order was mixed up. So it's not technically an imitation murder anymore. Because Imitation Murder would be order for order, so everything would be similar.
I'm Monami.
Thank you. Alright, so we're gonna call this here. Good place to leave off. We made it to the suspended part. And I'm not recording a trial that's gonna take 2 or 3 hours to get done. I'm sorry, that's not how I roll. But we did good. It was a 55-minute long trial. I say that even though it took less time, because my mic was not working when I first started recording. Peace and love to you guys. I thank you all for being my subscribers. If I had more artwork, I would do another art stream. So if anyone wants artwork, my Discord's in the description, or you can just post it in the comments. Sign it, because I do want you guys to have your credit for your art. Put me in video games. Draw what you think I look like as a bad guy. Anything. Currently, I do have pink hair. It's short. In a pixie cut. Well, I wish it was a pixie cut, but it's just short now. I do not have actual tattoos on my hands, though. My persona does. I'm thinking of getting one done on my hand, actually, as a rose. Not the heart by the eye. That may be too painful for me, but a rose on my hand doesn't seem bad. Peace and love. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.